So in this video, I want to describe the collaboration model of GitLab and Looker and how they can work together. So I currently have a GitLab repository containing the LookML code that's here. Um, and this is all already integrated into the Looker project. So in order to use a lot of the more advanced features, I can go into here, so I'll explain each of these panes a little bit. So on the left hand side with the green Chrome window, this is the Looker admin persona. And so this person will be configuring the Git integrations. And then on the blue browser, this is one of the LookML developers, and then on the red browser, this is a second LookML developer. So let's set up the integration first. So on the right hand side, you'll see that currently it's already linked up to GitLab, so that should be fairly self-explanatory. But I want to show an extra integration here where we enforce the usage of merge requests. And so this is a GitLab feature where code can get reviewed and approved before merging. So to get to this, you will go to the develop pane, and then normally you will see the LookML files. Instead, you will click into settings, and then you can then scroll down into the GitLab integration. So by default, this is off. I guess to show the full power of this, I'm going to make this mandatory. So this basically means every change needs to be reviewed and merge requested into the production branch. The other thing that to take note is that you'll see on here that there is also a requirement to set up a webhook, a push webhook. So what this means is basically whenever a merge happens on the GitLab side, Looker needs to know about this change. So therefore, you can follow the instructions here. Basically, on the GitLab side, you need to set up a push webhook to this address. And so over here on the GitLab side, I've done the same thing. So I can go into the settings of the repository, into webhooks, and then you can see I've already set up this webhook here. Optionally, you can also set, if I edit this, you can also set up a secret token so that not anyone could access the webhook and randomly deploy things. And so the secret token you also set up here as well. And so when you create this, you'll be able to set a secret from scratch and then just copy and paste the secret across. So now that this is all set up, let's go back into the development side of things. So over here, I'm in development mode. And so as per normal, in development mode, one of the engineers will have their own personal branch, and then the other one will also have their own personal branch. And currently it is matching up with production, and so you can see everything is up to date. So let's say the first developer here goes in and makes a change to the model. So for example, let's take this dimension called concat name, and then I just want to concat some random strings into this to change this dimension. And so I would follow this flow normally. So I would save changes. This would save it locally on the Looker instance, and then I can click here to validate the LookML to make sure I haven't broken any syntax. As you can see, this is all fine. And then now I will commit this change into my personal branch over at GitLab. So changing concat name dimension. And so I've made this change on my personal branch. And so the one thing that you'll notice that is different here is once this has been checked in and pushed, you see that instead of the deploy to production button, you can now see that this button has turned into open merge request. And so this, if I click this button here, this would go into GitLab. And because the change has been in GitLab already, you can see that a lot of the details of the merge requests are listed here. So you can see my commit message is here, and then the change that I did here is also visible. So I've added the extra string concatenation here. And so of course, you can follow the code review process on GitLab as normal. I can type a description. Please review and approve this. And then, for example, I can set the reviewer to the other developer, maybe like that, and then I will create the merge request. So you'll notice that now that I'm in this merge request area, the workflow sort of shifts from Looker into GitLab, and you'll notice that the button is stuck here, and so I can no longer deploy to production from here. It sort of enforces that everyone goes into GitLab to perform the code review. And so now over on this side, I can do the same thing. So I can go into GitLab and then go into the repository, and so I should have a merge request assigned to me. So here it is, merge request, and then this has been assigned to this user to review and approve. And so of course, let's say I can review the change and there are no issues here. I can check the number of commits. I can check the change and it looks good. And then I'll approve, and then I will merge this. So because the webhook has been set up, when this has been merged to the production branch, this will automatically deploy back on Looker, on the Looker side. So Looker is automatically aware of this change. So after this, so this change is now in production, so to speak. So if I refresh this, actually, if I exit development mode for this user, so we should see that, yep, so this change has been incorporated into production. So now the next question is, let's say I've got another engineer who, or I guess this same engineer, who is working on a conflicting change. So let's say this person is also doing a change to the same dimension and changing a different, I guess concatenating a different string. And so this developer will work as normal. So this person will save the changes and then validate the LookML and then commit. So you'll notice, so let me commit this first. So you'll notice there's a slight difference because the baseline has been changed. So as per Git, because this commit is coming off a different commit hash than what's in production, you'll notice that this button doesn't say merge request. It requires me to pull the production branch before I can issue a merge request. So you see this button is now changed to yellow. So if I press this, this will be a conflict. Right, so you'll see that the conflict happens, and let me just expand this a little. The conflict happens because this is what's in production. Sort of as per here, I've deployed the ABCD change into production, but yet I want to change this to EFGH. So you'll see that this is asking me to resolve this conflict. And so of course, as a developer, I would get up and maybe have a conversation with the other person who has made this change and verify what the correct solution should be. So let's say the correct solution is EFGH, and then we can just fix this up. Right, and so this is quite normal for a code for conflict situation. So now that I've resolved this conflict, I can save the change, and then I can make a second commit to resolve this conflict. So commit and resolve conflict. And so I say resolved conflict, and then I issue a commit. So I commit this again to my personal branch again. And so now my personal branch is updated, and I follow the same process again. So I can open the merge request. And of course, you can use whatever merge request process you currently use to review and approve and merge this change. And so for now, let's just quickly create the merge request and then just merge the change. So I'll just approve it, and then I'll merge it, and so this will all go in. Right, so this has been merged, and then same thing. I can come back on this side because this is not in development mode. I'm in the production branch. If I refresh this page, this should hopefully say EFGH, and it does. So yeah, so this video pretty much just explains the collaboration model of Looker and GitLab and how they can work together to facilitate collaboration and development of LookML models.